Oh, come on.
It took you long enough.
We still need to work on that.
This close.
Welcome back to another episode of Old Guys Playing
That's
Games.
us.
That's us.
Swear to God, you can get through that.
Really, it's like unbelievable, man. It's like
I didn't even get a
hosting.
chance to tell them that it was me.
Welcome to Old Guys Playing. Yep, that's us. Jeez, man. Settle down.
All right. So I'm Ken. You've already heard from Jason, Josh, and Stuart. So
Well done.
I think this is probably going to be the last episode before 2022.
Ooh, that's right. Because
Call.
Friday is the 31st.
Yeah. I think this is it, guys. This is the end of the year. But so I had a special holiday season. I had an opportunity to visit my 3 friends who all live in the same state, which is not the same state that I live in. So I flew down and got to see my buds and hung out with them, which was really, really cool. And
So who was that?
it was a good visit. I got to see Josh for the first time and meet him in person.
And give
had
him a hug.
Brecky.
And we're going to stop there. It was a good hug.
That's right.
and
That's right. That was a good hug. It was it. We'll just stop there. Had Brecky and good talk and talking about the podcast and talking about life and games. And speaking of games, we had an opportunity to go over to Tarpon Springs. Josh had a great idea to go over to the Replay Museum in Tarpon Springs. And this is a place, I'm going to put a link in on the webpage, and we'll probably put it in our social media as well. But this is a great little place. First of all, Tarpon Springs is a quaint little town. Very, very cool. And they had a quaint little storefront leading to the Replay Museum. And once you walk in, the walls are lined with pinball machines, and the inside aisles are covered or filled with arcade machines, video arcades. And the place is actually pretty big. It's not a traditional museum. This is a playable museum. So they had quite a bit. It gave me an opportunity to actually play some pinball, which I never really played growing up all that much. So this gave me an opportunity to go in there and play to my heart's content. And you pay one price and you get in and you play all day. And it was fantastic. I had a blast. So I'm going to let Josh talk about it a bit, though.
Thank you. I was just going to ask what game was your favorite, but yeah, I mean, it was. I've been there a few times, but I forget how fun it is. You know, we probably lost we were probably there for 4 hours cumulatively.
We were,
right?
yeah,
Really?
yeah, 4 hours.
Yeah, we were there,
Wow.
took a break for lunch, came back. I love it, man. It started off. We got there. We were the first people there, so. There wasn't
It does not surprise me.
There wasn't the full ambiance yet, but as people started coming in and people started playing, and it just sounded, vintage arcade. It was a lot of fun, and we played just about every one of the old school, really big titles that you can think of. Between Dragon's Lair, Pac-Man's, Donkey Kong, we hit Burger Time. We hit, what was it, Tapper? I forgot about that one. That was fun. And I think we all ended up with a high score. I was the last one, admittedly. But I think, Stuart, you hit Missile Command. You crushed it first. And Galaga, right?
He had 4.
Missile Command, Galaga, Burger Time.
Yeah.
Oh, and Track and Field.
Yeah,
Track
and Field as well.
I hit...
So just so the listener knows, it was Josh, Stuart, and I were the ones that went to Replay TV. Jason wasn't able to make it.
I was not able to. Holy cow! What is with Stu's mic?
Sorry,
it's too hot.
Super hot.
Sorry. Turn it down. I'm going to say I was going to.
We got to teach Stu what gain means.
Okay, fine. It's down at the low. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to turn the mic off. You guys,
Stuart, stay on here. Don't let him. Remember, don't allow him.
Don't let him bully you.
Don't allow it. But so J-Dub was not able to join, but he was there in spirit.
Next time,
on the
I'll
phone
be there
a little
next
bit.
time.
Yeah, for sure. But
No, wait, for the listener, is it a daily reset? So when you get these high scores, is that it? Annual?
Oh yeah.
It's a daily.
I think they cut the power and they're gone. Yeah.
some of the games. I think what Bobby, who ran the museum, said Well, some of the games have memory and some don't. So I don't know which ones were which, but some were clearly we were the only names on there, and some already had names when we got there. So it was a little different. So anyway, no, I
coming
just
from the side.
Instructions.
We're having some technical difficulty. We need an engineer. Sign somebody up. So I did. I hit Karate Champ, which I never thought I would get the high score, but somehow I was moving the joysticks in the right direction, and I flipped over the guy and hit him in the back a bunch of times. I was able to get
muscle memory.
Yeah, it was awesome. I love that game. And the Commando, I missed it by 700.
Ken was trying to describe the game you were playing, and he couldn't remember the name. And I was like, Karateka? Or Karateka?
No, it's Karate Champ.
Yeah.
Karate
it's
Champ.
Just
I couldn't remember the name of it.
Horizontal, and you just kind of jump over and you put
and it has the one guy in the upper right-hand corner that judges the match.
Yes.
He's got the Fu Manchu mustache.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I sat there. It took me about probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes, but I did it. So
we have some videos from our visit and photos. We're going to have to make them available.
Is that a video, Stu, or a picture? Oh, it is a video. Stu's showing a video.
Yeah,
we got to put that on our YouTube.
That was fun.
Oh, okay, cool.
Fun. Yeah, there was a lot of great games.
Yeah.
I will say probably for me the most disappointing one, but the one I was looking forward to seeing was Dragon's Lair.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of great memories. I think it's because it was so unique. Because it was the Don Bluth animation, and it was a game that was like a cartoon, but I had forgotten how hard it was to actually play that game.
What game is that, Steve?
It's incredibly, insanely hard to play. You had to wait for the visual cues or timing, and it was just impossible to play.
Yeah,
that was really disappointed in that.
I saw you playing because I started it and I lasted 2 seconds because I just couldn't do it, and then I was like, maybe Ken knows, and then I could see you having the same. You got farther, but I was like, forget it. It's just not the same as it was when you're 15 in 1980, whatever.
Stu, what game did you run up to play first, Stu? What was your?
No. What did I play first? I think I'm trying to remember what I played first.
Was it Donkey Kong? You started with Donkey Kong, but
yeah, that's correct. It was Donkey Kong Jr. But the weird thing, the way they had it set up, there was Donkey Kong Jr. Classic, and there was Donkey Kong Jr. another one. And I signed up. I played the wrong one, but yeah, it was Donkey Kong. Am I better now, Jason? Because I'm 9 feet away from the microphone.
That's good.
It's fine.
You sound great.
It's good.
I didn't even play that. I walked past it twice, and I didn't play Donkey Kong Jr. because I was going to play that, and I chose not to, mainly because I think I was having overload by that time. But it was fun though. I played a game that I remember playing once or twice before, and it was called Rolling Thunder.
The helicopter
game. It was like a spy. No.
What am I thinking about?
No.
You're thinking of Blue Thunder. I think we were
Blue Thunder.
That was a TV show, right?
But it was a spy game where you're side scrolling and you have a gun and everybody's coming at you from either above on the staircase above you or below, and you're just walking, shooting all these guys. I had a lot of fun with it. I actually got the top score on that one. But it was a game that I remember very, very vaguely, but I remember having a lot of fun with it because the character was, doing parkour when it jumps up to the second story, and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly.
Well, one thing we should mention, because we've gone a long way with that. While Jason wasn't with us, we did have a friend with us. Luke was with us. Luke being a friend of Jason's, who was
this is the craziest story.
Yeah, that's a crazy.
Who was an aficionado, right? I mean, Luke is legit. Knew Bobby, knows and has arcades in his house. So it was great to have him there with his OG Atari hat on. It was fun because the games he played versus the games we played, and then we obviously talked at lunch around sort of the games we liked, and so we'll have to get Luke on here at some point because he is clearly, when it comes to arcade games, he knows his stuff and restores them. But I thought that game, and Ken, that game you played reminded us of another game which you and I couldn't remember, and we had to look it up, and I don't even remember the name of it now, but you remembered it. Oh, Elevator Action, which I forgot about, and how much I enjoyed the game. They did not have that at the arcade. Maybe in their storage facility, they did not have it.
Yeah, so they had 100. What was it? 100 games there in the museum, but they have a storage facility warehouse where they have about 200 more.
What?
So I guess they either not only do they repair and refurbish, but they probably cycle them through the museum to kind of make it fresh, so you don't have the same games every time.
Yeah, and the cool thing was they had like little Easter eggs above the games and other stuff. So it was really, I mean, it wasn't just an arcade; it was really cool, and you could tell how much
like a museum
and the folks. Yeah, it's a museum, but you could see how much they like.
Yeah, so Bobby was very, very knowledgeable about not only the arcade games, but even pinball. And I think we should really have her on the show because pinball is the precursor to the video arcade games. And I think there's a lot we could learn about the history of pinball because it's very, very cool. Some of the things that I saw there on the pinball machines that they had. And I always wondered about them, like, how do they figure this out? How do they work this out? Because if you've ever opened up an arcade machine, it's typically just a big card and a ton of wires. Well, a pinball machine is probably worse. It's probably just a bunch of wires. They're all just dip switches and triggers. There's not much card to it if you're looking at the old ones. But she's got a lot of knowledge, and I would really like to have her on the show and ask her some questions because she was very, very entertaining to sit and talk to, and she had some great stories about some of the games there. One of my favorite stories that she told, they actually had a Fix-It Felix game. Now, Fix-It Felix was the fictional video game in the Wreck-It Ralph movies.
Right.
Okay. Now, Disney had purchased some old Donkey Kong arcade boxes, refurbished them, and wrote code for 2 levels of a fictional game called Fix-It Felix. And they put them in arcades prior to the release of the film to generate kind of like guerrilla marketing. And she was able to get one of them, and she has one at the museum, and it's playable.
One of 12.
Wow.
There's one of 12, yeah. And I was like, that was the coolest thing. Because I walked by, and I'm like, wait a minute.
I played it.
It wasn't really a game.
Did you play it?
I did not, but I watched a girl play it.
I thought it was an OG, legit old-time game, so that's how stupid I am. But it was pretty crazy because he bounced them down. You got to go fix all the windows. Yeah.
Well, you could definitely see Donkey Kong in it, because the way the levels were built and the way the characters moved around, it was very reminiscent to Donkey Kong. So that was one of the coolest things I thought they had in there. But Stuart told me about the Easter eggs, but she puts little stuff around the arcade as Easter eggs about some of the games you're playing, as well as some things about the arcade culture. So,
including that was designers of some of the games, especially the pinball games, right? The pinball machines, it has who the art designer was, who the engineer was. So it was pretty. So if you're in the Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater area, we recommend you go. It's well worth the $14 I think we paid for unlimited play, and you get it all day, so you can go. And like we did, we got there when they opened, and we went and had lunch, and we came back and played some more, and we probably could have stayed there all day.
Yeah, and
so it was fun.
The only thing I'm bummed about is that toy store, man. There's a toy store right next door that is like classic toys. So in there they have all the old Star Wars, G.I. Joes, Barbies, whatever it is. Unfortunately, they were closed. Yes, I am. I have a large Barbie collection.
I'm going back this week, Josh, when they open on Thursday.
Are you?
I have to go back.
Oh,
I think
man.
so. I think I'm going to see if my wife wants to go. And so if anybody else wants to go,
I can't.
let's make the trip.
I'm going to.
I might go.
J-Dub. So, so we should talk about, each one of us should have our favorite game. And then the game we thought we would have liked, but was the least liked. I think it's all going to be the same one. But who wants to go first on that? And Jason, you can't answer.
Well, I'm looking at I'm looking at her games list right now, which is absolutely incredible. So after you guys go, then I'll just mention
Ken,
the one.
Why don't you start, Ken? What was of all the games you played? What was the one that you were like? Oh, this is my favorite. Was it the Spy Hunt, the side scroller one?
Rolling Thunder?
Yeah.
No. Actually, I think it was. I had the most fun playing Track and Field.
Yeah.
You and I played it together, side by side, competing against each other, and I think I had the most fun playing that. And it was. It brought back a lot of memories. That game was frustratingly hard as well, but it was a lot of fun playing that. I really enjoyed it, and like I said before, I think Dragon's Lair, although I had looked forward to playing it, I was disappointed in. But I'm not going to dwell on that. I already talked about it.
Yeah.
I will say the other one that really, really disappointed me was Spy Hunter. I really, really loved Spy Hunter as a kid. I think there was the thought of being a spy, driving in a cool car with trick out
with cool music,
weapons and stuff like that. But this was the stand-up version, and having to have that 1 foot on the pedal as an old guy, I found it difficult to drive. That game was almost impossible to drive for me. Now, Stuart, you had a much better time.
Yeah, but I think it was the same thing. I think, well, I'll get to mine in a minute, but I think on your Spy Hunter point, doing it in stand-up was difficult because basically what you ended up having to do was just keep your foot on the pedal and then try to lever low gear, high gear, low gear, high gear in order to control it, which you would much rather use the pedal to control the speed. And so you really, that's a tough game anyway, because you've got to use 3 different inputs and there's no room for error. If you
had steering wheel, you had finger triggers, thumb buttons, a pedal, and a gear stick.
Was that originally a sit down? Was it a sit down?
No, they did make a sit down, but they had a stand up at the museum.
You've got, not only do you have the handle, the gear shift, and the pedal, and the yoke, you have 4 buttons, each of which do something different.
Yep.
It's just my brain is
a lot of coordination.
Yeah. Yep. So all right. So Josh, what was your favorite and what was your least favorite?
I found this at the end. I'm kind of bummed. Contra. Because they had that multi-whatever one where you could flip between, and it was like Dig Dug and all these other ones. And I found Contra, and I sat there for 10, 15 minutes. I love that game. For the
listener, they had stand-up units that had multiple games on it, and you could choose which game you wanted to play. So that was actually kind of cool to be able to bring some of the other games, some of the obscure games available to the players without having a stand-up box for it. So there were about 3 or 4 that I could remember that had multiple games that you could choose from to play.
Yeah.
I had forgotten, but yeah, Contra was on there as well. And that was fun to watch you play that.
Yeah. I think, I don't know that there was one Dragon's Lair. Yeah. But I was bummed they didn't have that. Star Wars was out of order. I just love sitting there. It's
yeah, they had the Return of the Jedi game, but that's not the same.
It's mono and all that stuff, but it's I love that game. I wish they would have had it, but yeah.
So for me, I agree with Ken. I had the most fun playing track and field because you and I were playing together and it was fun. I wasn't used to playing track and field on a tabletop, so that was a little different. But that was a fun game because of the competition in that game, and you get 3 tries like you do, and so I like that. My favorite game though, I think, was Missile Command. That's the one that brought back the most juice for me. That's the one when I hit it, I hit it hard, and all of a sudden it all came back, and I could have played that all day long. Matter of fact, if I was going to buy an arcade game, besides the fact that my wife would like me to buy Miss Pac-Man, it would be that Missile Command game for me that was the greatest. And I think similar to the others, it was Dragon's Lair that disappointed me most, because if you don't remember exactly what to do at the beginning of Dragon's Lair, you essentially die every time the screen comes on. There's just no, it is not a game that is a game. It's really just a memorization. And, maybe my love of it was it's like when
because it was so ahead of its time, right? Like it was
ahead of its time, but it was frustrating when it was in its time. It's just a matter of wow, it even sucks even more now. So anyway, so
you mentioned a game though that I played near the end, Miss Pac-Man, and I ended up getting top score on that for that day, but I had forgotten how fast Miss Pac-Man was compared to the original Pac-Man. And that was probably the one game that got me worked up. My palms were sweating, I had to take a break. I started getting cramps in my hands, so during the interludes, I was able to kind of shake the nerves out, shake the hands out. But
that's actually a great point though. Like the forearms take a beating. You forget, like
they do.
My forearms were burning there, especially when I was playing Commando, because I was really trying to get that high score. But
yeah, well, in track and field, you're pounding those buttons too. They had the button guards on there to prevent the old pencil trick, which I thought was interesting. But it was fun. It was highly recommended. I think Jason, you will love it. You'll be running around there like a kid on Christmas.
Well, Jason, you see the list. What game are you looking forward to tackling when you go?
Gauntlet. That was the one that I would probably... Gauntlet and 720 degrees.
That Gauntlet together.
Gauntlet, the reason I like it, to the point Stu you make, is I always played it with my friends. So I was, I'd like to go to the arcade, and I would always go with friends. And if we could play games together, that would be where we would gravitate versus all going to 4 different games.
Yeah. Well, Ken and I did that because one of the games we played a lot in college was NFL Blitz, and they had the
Blitz 99.
I think it was NFL Blitz 99. So we played the later one because it wasn't around when we got out of college for 99, but we played that one. It was fun just to go back and play. Then Josh kicked my butt, I think. So
no, I mean that's because that was first because you didn't remember how to play it, and then
we were having a hard time remembering.
It was a fun game,
but it's fun.
It was a fun game.
I do regret us not getting together and playing Gauntlet together, though. I had kept forgetting.
I thought
for us to do that.
That would have been a fun one. I did play Punch Out.
Yes,
that's right.
I didn't get to that,
body blow.
Yeah,
Finish him. Glass Joe.
That's hilarious.
All right. Well, that was fun. So look, I think great. If you're ever here, listeners, it's a great day out. It's a great place to go hang out, like Ken said. And I mean, just for the knowledge alone and the games and everything else. And we only played a couple pinball machines, but it was fun. Pinball just for me it's that idea that the ball goes down the middle of the hole and there's nothing I can do about it. There's no skill involved in that piece. Drives me crazy. But there were some fun games there all the way back to like the 30s.
And they had also Stranger Things I was playing. It was like wild.
Yeah, they had newer pinball as well. They had Ghostbusters. The newest one she had as far as pinball was a Mandalorian. And it was kind of cool because right below the main screen where they show the score, they had a little LCD screen that actually showed scenes from the show to progress. It's cool that they're still what kind of story they had going.
It's cool that they're still being made. That's what I have to say.
Yeah. All right. So that's Replay Museum. You can find that at Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, Florida, replaymuseum.org. And next door, someplace we're going to go next time, is the Bearhaven Land Company Vintage Toys, which is right next door to Replay. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back, and we'll talk about some Halo campaign and some VR stuff that came out. All right, we are back, and Jason was chomping at the bit to talk about the Halo campaign. He has gotten the furthest than any of us. Jason, go ahead and tell us what you want to tell us.
Well, I think some of you have gotten to the point where I'd say the game really begins. The point where you're all underground for a long period of time and you finally emerge into the open world. That's where the game really comes alive. And that's, as we've spoken before, that's what I think makes this game. And I told Stu today, this is in my top 3 games of all time. Because the open world is so massive. And there are so many different mountaintops that you look at it and you're like, oh, there's no way you can go to the top of that peak. And because of that, yeah, exactly. Because of the grappling hook, you can go to the highest possible peaks you might imagine, and there's going to be hidden stuff up there, which Ken is going to love. So I've now probably played 20 hours of this game. I'm so far along in these. As you go to conquer different parts of the map, other things will open up near it, and it'll show on the map that you've got to go do this side mission, which is why Ken's going to love this game. But gameplay, yeah, I've got it on novice. It's not, I'm not playing insane levels, so I can progress the game. I can understand the story, which is really, really well done. Probably one of the reasons I love this game so much. But Ken, I think you're going to, especially of this group, I think you're all going to love it. I think Ken's going to love it the most because of that open world concept and so many hidden things. And you get this
I want you guys with me, though. I'm going to want you guys
with me.
In May. Not just be alone.
In May, we can do that.
You're right, though, man. It's kind of like I got to the part where Cortana, whatever her name is, I think it's Cortana.
Cortana.
Anyway, she opens up the map and you see all the waypoints. I'm like, oh my God. What do I do first? I don't even know. And it doesn't matter, right? You can do it in any order. But I went to the right one because I was able to get in the tank in the first. I love that thing, man.
That tank is crazy.
Destroying stuff with it for no good reason. It was fun. Yeah, but it is awesome. The story is actually really good too.
And you unlock all kinds of things for the multiplayer game. So
are you sure that's applicable in multiplayer? It is?
Yes. So when you go and you complete certain missions, if you go off a side path, you'll hear something, making a sound. You go up and it's an armor box and you get special armor decorations or whatever for multiplayer. And I've gotten like 6 or 7. I haven't tried them on yet because since I've been playing, I've not played any multiplayer.
Plus, you had a lot of food over the holiday break. You might not fit. You need to lose weight to be able to put it on, right?
Seriously.
Whoa.
But Stu, I actually think the reason Stu will love it is the story is amazing. It's really well done. The story arc. See, every episode we have to have story arc.
I've gotten to the point where you get on the ground level, right? And so far it is an interesting story, and I like where they're going with it. I still don't love fighting stupid aliens and their shields and all that stuff. That's the part I just
have to get the right weapon, man. Get that plasma rifle that knocks out those shields.
What's the right weapon, right? I mean, you get the thing that shoots the harpoon.
You'll learn.
That's a good. I know, but that's the frustrating part, right? But yeah, it does. Yeah, like we talked about last time, it's bringing back memories of Halo, and I don't know who the gorilla guys are, but it's fine. It seems like fun, and so I'm about to get out into the open expanse of the planet, and going to fight the big monkey guy at some point. So it should be fun.
Ken, are you going to wait until you finish Call of Duty campaign, or are you just going to jump right? I think you should.
He's going to wait to multiplayer.
I think you need to jump into campaign.
Are you really going to wait?
If I wait till after I finish the Call of Duty campaigns, the next Halo will be out.
Yeah.
No, I will play it. The problem I'm having right now, I have not played with you guys since before I left for the trip. So when I got back, I started playing with the family. We've been playing a lot of the Jackbox games and having fun with that as a family. So I moved my Xbox in the living room so we could all play together as a family. So, but I'm going to move it tonight so that I can get online. And if you guys are online, I'll play with you. But if not, I'll play some campaign.
Yeah, I'm going to be online. Yeah. I haven't played since whatever it was, Thursday. So I'm ready to go. Let's play some.
So we haven't mentioned it yet, but if you're not watching the video, but I'm holding this really cool sticker up. We're going to put this merch on the website. Ken designed these cool. Did your son do these, or did you do these?
I did those. My son is using that logo to design other merch stickers and such. Whoa,
that didn't work. Your ears bleeding.
You got to hit mute.
I thought I hit the mute button, but I didn't.
Yeah, we'll put a link on the website. We'll open up a merch store and sell some stickers if you guys want to.
And a car magnet. I'm putting
car magnet
on the Tesla.
Yeah, we'll have to get some ideas from you guys of what kind of stuff you would like. We'll start with some stickers and go from there. You didn't put it on your Tesla yet, have you?
No, I'm going to.
I
just washed it yesterday. Or actually, I washed it today.
Jason.
Oh, okay.
Time is.
Let's not talk about the Tesla.
Okay. What's the last topic?
All right. So the last topic, Jason, you had I think urged us. Was that the right term to use? Yeah. Force us? Mm-hmm. I don't know. You're really, really excited to get us to download the Golf Plus for the Oculus.
Golf Plus on the Oculus. First off, I just want to say what's pretty spectacular is how quickly, and if you look on the Android store, it's probably up there too. Oculus has taken over. At one point this week, it was number one in the app stores on Android and iOS. It is definitely taking, people should be taking notice of how quickly VR gaming is jumping to the top of the pack in terms of what people are interested in right now. Right on the holidays is a key time for people getting new headsets. But if you have an Oculus Quest 2, because it doesn't play on the Oculus Quest 1, unfortunately, it's only on Quest 2. Golf Plus is a bundle of games that includes Top Golf, something putt. There's a putting game that's a blast. And then 2 or 3 virtual golf courses that you can play multiplayer. And Stu and I played the other day. And, we both said, this is actually pretty damn cool. Is it just like real golf? Of course not. Is it a blast? Yes. Will it be a blast when all 4 of us can get in there when Josh gets a headset? It will be a lot of fun.
Say that. Do I need an Oculus?
Yes.
Or is it just cool? Get it, and then
don't ask me. Don't ask me because you know my answer. But
seriously, are we going to play this enough to justify the 300 bones I'm going to shell out?
Yes.
Stuart's shaking his head no.
I don't like to burst Jason's bubble on this because he's the one that guilted me into buying one last year. First of all, I agree with Jason. The game is a blast, and I have fun, and it is fun. So what I would say, Josh, is try it with one of ours first. See if you like it. See if it's the kind of thing you're going to do. Because I'm not sure. I haven't found another reason to use my Oculus all the time except for work stuff, which is fine because I have work stuff. But the game is fun. As Jason said, we had a blast playing. My daughter had a blast videoing me doing it and looking stupid. But it's a fun game. Hair. And so it's the kind of thing, like if games like this, I mean, the weird thing is like when you hit, like you can go into God mode. In other words, make yourself like Ant-Man really big to look down. And it gives you the heebie-jeebies. Like you could get a little bit vertigo-ish if you're not careful, right? But I don't know if I don't know if an Oculus is worth the money for the amount of hours I use it compared to, say, the Xbox, right? Which I know I'm going to get my money out of, right? But having said that, Jason's right. It's a fun game. I can see it's going to be great for, we talked about, for our company having office competitions and having, challenge people to stuff. And that's cool. That's going to be fun. But the weird thing is you go on Oculus and there's a lot of dated stuff on there. So Jason, I'm hoping if the developers don't start developing for it, it doesn't come an open development platform. I think
this is where you haven't downloaded stuff recently. If you go into the store now, the games that, because Meta bought all these game studios, they've pushed a bunch of really top end content. Now it's not cheap. Like you're buying a game, it's going to be 20 to 30 bucks. Yeah. This game Onward is first person shooter, military. Like you get dropped in Afghanistan and Iraq, and it is freaking cool. It give you the chills as you like stray for, go around a corner.
I might agree with Elon on the whole meta thing, but I know it drives you crazy. I know, like you're just like, so let's talk about golf VR. The good thing about this game was $14.99 on sale, Jason, or 13 something.
Yeah, I think it's back up to $20.
So what I found was, just to critique a little bit, the golf game that Jason and I played, which was sort of like the old Tiger Woods golf. We were playing on a mode that was pretty much infallible, like we were ending up close to each other, and that was fun. Then I wanted to play Top Golf. Top Golf is not infallible. Top Golf is hard.
Well, we had it on simple mode on the game, where it gives you the club every time.
It wasn't on. Whatever it was on was, I had a nasty slice, a nasty hook, whatever. I had to start adjusting to it, so it was tricky. And I couldn't.
Top Golf, like the place Top?
Yes.
Golf? Oh,
yes.
interesting.
Yes. Yeah, so you have like this. So in the Top Golf one, you've got, the cool thing is you've got like, you're on like the top level plateau at a Top Golf, and they've got big screens running with YouTube music, so you can pick your genre. So I had like 80s metal cranking away, or 80s music, because I'm the oldest guy, the old guys. That's right. And I was hitting. I did a couple of the games, and it was cool because I was like, they were playing like Madonna. I'm like, I can't hit a golf ball to Madonna, so I'm like, I need some. I need some, Final Countdown, and I got the Final Countdown. I got some Aha. I'm like, okay, now I'm good to go. So that was sort of fun, and I can see that fun with a group. But it is I found Top Golf, Jason, way more frustrating than I found the golf one-on-one game we played, which was much more enjoyable because it wasn't it didn't require so much skill. Let's be honest.
I mean, I'm a pretty good golfer, so I'd probably be pretty good at it. So.
Then maybe you should buy one.
I know, except I don't have an Oculus, so it doesn't matter.
See, I like the virtual reality. My problem as an old guy is that I'm very susceptible to motion sickness, and it sounds ridiculous, but when I play a game where my character has to move instead of just standing still and letting the world come around it, it starts getting me sick. I start
Onward
getting sick.
would give you problems.
You don't move.
Yeah, because like the Star Wars one, which is fantastic. I love watching it. It's very, very cool how much they've done. I can't play it. It makes me want to throw up.
But a big percentage of people do get motion sick, and I think that's got
part of my problem. I think is that they have yet to start using the right displays inside those headsets, because I still see a little bit of the pixelization, and I could see the dots, and it's bugging me. If we had an OLED screen, if it was higher resolution, with it being that close to your face, you need to have it like 4K or something like that, and they are not. That might help, but I like the games like Jason. What's the Saber game where it's
Beat Saber?
Beat Saber. I love that type of thing. That's a lot of fun. It's very, very enjoyable. But the golf, I'm looking forward to playing. I think that will be a lot of fun. You should try it. And we'll do it together. It's fun. It is fun. And I think that's the kind of thing for me, the kind of things I like more than the sim games. To me, like, I don't know.
There's the
Josh. You might want to think about this as something as a family thing. I think you would have fun with your kids playing this as well. So it wouldn't be just for you,
right.
But that's if you loved your kids enough to buy a game that you all play together.
Now this might be enough.
It depends on the day, Ken. You know that.
The top game right now is this game called, I don't know how you say it, Demio.
Whatever it is, I'm sure you're saying
it's I sent the link. It's basically you're gathered around a virtual board game board. It's like a Dungeons and Dragons sort of thing. But when you watch the previews, it looks. I was never into D&D, but it looks really freaking cool.
I thought you said you played D&D with Luke.
I never did.
Oh.
Yeah, that was you, Stuart. You forgot. You're old.
Well, I didn't play D&D with Luke, but that's D&D. Anyway, okay, so I'll check it out. But so I would say the ecosystem is getting there. I think that game was fun. So Jason was dead on right. That game was fun, and we had a blast playing. But my daughter did have a blast. My kids don't want nothing to do with it, and she loves taking videos of me doing it. So there's a video which I will share with you guys, which is quite funny.
My son plays the heck out of it. He really enjoys it. Usually by the time I want to pick it up to play it, the battery's dead. So I'm just going to have to take it and lock it in a closet and charge it so that he can't get to it and waste it.
That is a concern about the battery because I do notice that I have to charge. So Jason, I don't know how long, if we full on played, how much time we'd get.
So you can, and I'm just been meaning to order it. You can order the Pro Strap that has a battery pack on the back. So you essentially get two batteries.
I need a battery by my brain. That'd be good.
Because this is so far away.
He was on, and Elon made the comment. He's like, I don't get excited about a TV on my nose. He's like, when I was young, I was told not to sit so close to TV. So now they're telling me to put it right here. Anyway, I'm excited about. I want to play golf again. That was fun. I played after we played the Top Golf one because for some reason Jason and I couldn't get the Top Golf one going, and then I actually ended up in a public room. You know how much I don't like being with public.
Yeah, you don't like people.
No, because I was like, it was basically like, it's like it's horrible, and it's like everybody, kids and family and everything. I'm like, I don't want to be with these. I don't know you.
That's a whole episode all by itself. The toxic nature of multiplayer using.
Yeah, that's not something I think our podcast needs to tackle.
Whoa.
We'll let psychologists cover that.
All right. I think that's enough for everybody. Thank you for listening, and check us out on all the socials. Jason has been working overtime, getting all of our socials established and connected, and we will see you next time. I'm Ken.
I'm Josh.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Stu.
And we're the old
guys playing games.
Oh, come on.
It took you long enough.
We still need to work on that.
This close.
See ya.